After a break yesterday, court was back in session today for day 14 of the Chad Daybell trial.
And it focused on key testimony related to Tammy Daybell's death and Chad and Lori's relationship. Here's a look at some standout moments from today's witnesses. Dr. Eric Christensen, the medical examiner for the state of Utah, first on the stand Wednesday. He performed Tammy Daybell's autopsy after her body was exhumed in December 2019.
What did you determine the cause of death to be?
We ruled her cause of death to be asphyxia.
What did you determine her manner of death to be?
We determined her manner of death to be homicide.
Originally, Tammy's cause of death was listed as pulmonary edema, but Dr. Christensen says that is not a cause of death in and of itself. Many things can result in pulmonary edema, including asphyxiation.
We didn't find any traumatic injury that would explain her death. We also didn't find any natural disease that would explain her death. Her heart was completely normal. Her lungs were normal except for some fluid buildup in them. Her liver, kidneys, all of her organs were normal.
He found no signs of heart arrhythmia, no intoxicants or chemicals, and no signs of seizures, as Chad claimed.
During Tammy's autopsy, did you find any physical signs of seizure activity?
We did not.
And you reviewed Tammy's medical records, is that correct?
Yes.
Any signs of seizure activity in her medical records?
There's no mention.
In your experience, would it be uncommon for someone Tammy's age to have all of a sudden developed seizures?
It would be very unlikely.
Christensen also discussed the bruises found on Tammy's body. 8 bruises on her right arm, 4 in front and 4 in back, plus 1 bruise on the left arm and 1 on her chest. He said they likely occurred minutes to hours before her death and could be consistent with someone being restrained. Also on the witness stand Wednesday were Alice and Todd Gilbert, Chad and Tammy's neighbors. They described Tammy and Chad's relationship in 2019 as distant and were very surprised to learn she had died. They went over there that morning, Saturday, October 19th, 2019, and said Chad didn't seem upset.
He didn't seem like he was real sad like I would expect somebody to be after their spouse had just passed on. He seemed kind of businesslike to me, I thought, and I thought that was kind of strange.
Chad mentioned the funeral would be that Tuesday, which the Gilberts felt was fast and almost felt pre-planned. By Wednesday, he was making plans to move to a condo in Rexburg with a friend, and by Friday, he had moved out. On October 26th, just 7 days after Tammy's death, Chad visited them.
And he said that he found the woman he was going to marry. We were absolutely stunned.
A few days after that, they met the woman he was talking about, Lori Vallow.
They sat on the couch. It was awkward. They were very affectionate with each other, more than I had ever seen Chad. And they were giggling and laughing, and my husband and I were embarrassed.
One thing we thought was strange, I seen Chad rubbing her leg, and I thought to myself, that's kind of odd. Your first wife has died within a week and a half, and you're carrying on kind of like a teenager sitting there that's first in love.
The Gilberts say Chad told them Lori had a daughter who had recently died. But later, when they found out it was Lori's kids who were missing, Chad told them it was a custody issue and denied ever saying her daughter had died. In March 2020, right after Lori was arrested, Chad again visited the Gilberts.
When he walked in the door, he says that the Christ had sent me here to ask you guys if you would be willing to put your home up for bond.
To get Lori out of jail.
Did you end up agreeing to do that?
No.
Chad's brother, Matt Daybell, was also in court today, but was not there to support his brother. He sat with JJ's grandparents, Kay and Larry Woodcock, for much of court today.